Hey, I'm Johnny Candle. We're here at ICAST, and here's some of the best fishing rods that we've seen. If you're a Fenwick fan, you probably remember the Techna AV from about a decade ago. If you really like that rod, you're going to be excited with the introduction of the Techna PX, which stands for Power Lux. That's the key to this rod. It's a new resin that's 30% lighter than what we've had in the past. You've got a lightweight rod, very sensitive, all your favorite lengths and actions in spinning and bait casting. The Fenwick brand is alive and well with the Techna PX. Here we are with Josh Douglas, and don't let the shirt fool you just because he chases fish without teeth. He knows a little bit about walleyes too.
I catch a fair share.
Loomis this year did us all a favor, and they brought back an old favorite, the E6X walleye series. You want to tell us a little about it?
Completely redesigned. We saw it with the bass market when they came out with them. They're lighter, a little bit of different handle system, and then this year they're launching the E6X, the new walleye series. And there's 6 spinning models, 2 casting models out there. Awesome. They're super light. We use these all the time. You maybe know more things about walleye.
Well, it's a great way to get into a G Loomis rod too without breaking the bank. It's got all the high-end quality components that you're used to with G Loomis fishing rod without the giant price tag to go with it.
That's right.
Great value, great series of rods, and you're going to want to check them out.
You want to check out SCHEELS.
Incredible friends at St. Croix Rods. They build some of the finest pieces of fish catching equipment on the planet. More goes into a fishing rod than you would ever know. And Dan Johnson's going to share with us some of the newer highlights. Obviously not everything new, we don't have time for that, but some of the key features, benefits of some of the newest rods and why we're going to want to own one of them.
Yeah, SCHEELS is a great partner for St. Croix and really part of our family, and you, the angler, the viewer, is what drives St. Croix every single day. One example of that is the new Mojo Bass Glass series of rods. 5 models, 4 casting and 1 spinning, but folks, what's so impressive about this rod, I had a chance to film with it in Mexico a while back, is 2 things. It's linear S-glass, manufactured on St. Croix's exclusive IPC manual. What that does, it makes a rod that's glass that deflects moderately, that fish flat out get the bait with, but it's super, super lightweight. And it's very castable, fishable, protects fluorocarbon, braid, you name it. So we're super excited about this series because it's at a very moderate price range as well.
And you need to remember the word bass is just there as a guide, because the spinning rod for the walleye guys is spot on, dynamite, slam dunk. So if you have to put black tape over it to feel right catching a walleye, go ahead, because it's a great rod for walleye fishing too.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Let's grab these 2 right here. Back on the premise of making you guys better on the water, which is what drives St. Croix, I would also add St. Croix has total control over what they do in the manufacturing process. We don't subcontract out for any information in the manufacturing process. Perfect evidence of this is 2 rods we introduced actually earlier in Knoxville at the Bassmaster Classic that we're also showing here at ICAST in Orlando. They're swim frog rods for the serious bass fishermen. These are 7 foot 5 inches long and a medium heavy power with an extra fast action or deflection. So what that does is instead of a big heavy hook frog rod, slop frog with 60-pound braid, this is more of a target frog rod, moving frog, the type of thing where we have to be more accurate. That's why we need the extra fast tip with shutdown power too. So again, very specifically designed to make you better. And the largest rod manufacturing facility in the country in Falls, Wisconsin is where these engineers reside, and they're all about you.
Speaking of making guys better, you showed me this one earlier today.
Yeah.
Niche rod, but there's a big need for it.
You know, this is a classic example of hearing a need in the market and having the ability to react, because we have a symbiotic relationship with us fishermen and our pros in the field and our engineering team. And what we found, and Johnny, I'm actually going to tee you up on why we did this, but I think it's pretty good walleye fisherman. You might know what I'm talking about here, but much more so than I am. So this is a 5 foot 8 inch heavy fast in a spinning rod for a very specific application. Why don't you cover that?
Boy, heavy metal, right? Big jigs, big blade baits, jigging spoons, heavy current, big rivers, deep water. You don't do it a lot, but when you do it, you need a special tool for it. 7 foot medium fast isn't going to cut it with an ounce of weight on the end. So now we've got the rod that bends right, handles the weight well, sets the hook and fits in your hand. So definitely going to fit that niche. Again, it's not something you do every day, but to do it well, you need the right tool for the job, and this one's going to do it. No question.
Guys that fish at his level realize that the closer the tip is to your hand in a vertical jigging situation, the more control over you have over the entire situation, especially when we start getting into heavy jigs and heavier blanks. So, Johnny, I appreciate your time. Folks, we're in this for you. We're very appreciative to be partners with SCHEELS. We're super excited about all these rods that we launched this year at ICAST, and please feel free to check out St. Croix Rod's website at stcroixrods.com, and welcome to our family.
All right, Johnny.
All right, folks, brand new stuff from the folks at Loomis. If you followed Loomis for very long, you'll know they're up and coming, but they've been around for a long time as well. Great new line with the Loomis Speed Stick fishing rods. Bob's going to fill us in on why this rod is a Loomis product.
Absolutely. This is a traditional Loomis fishing rod. We've had many other innovations over the last few years with wind grips. The industry is all following our lead there. We've actually gone back the other direction to the traditional guy, the guy that the walleye fisherman, the bass fisherman, wants a straight cork handle, doesn't care about a split grip. He likes the feel of cork. He's grown up using it. So what we've done is we've made the new Speed Stick, which is a traditional name for Loomis. It's an IM8 blank with Fuji guides. We put Fuji guides on this rod. Very good graphics, looks very nice. But the feature is the cork handle, cork grips, very traditional. And
kind of
strong.
takes us back to where we started, Bob.
Absolutely.
Let's face it, right?
Absolutely.
Neither one of us are spring chickens.
Right.
And Fuji guides were the bomb, to use a kid word.
Absolutely.
Matte finish, not too loud. Cork
Absolutely.
handle for comfort, right? If you want to stick your jig in there, you can.
Absolutely.
That's what we all did
Exactly.
as kids, right?
It has a hook keeper, but if you want to do it, you
Right,
can.
you can, right.
But this is a full line, full series, bass actions,
Right.
a lot of walleye actions.
Even
We're really
some trolling
gonna-
rods I see right
Yeah,
here.
I need to tell you a little bit about the trolling rods because they're kind of unique. Let me just talk about that for a second. The guys on our Walleye Pro team asked for several things to be added to this rod. I'm telling you, this is a $79 rod. Okay, these are a little bit higher. I think they're $89 for the trolling rods. But they ask for some things. So when this rod collapses into itself, it doesn't move. It won't come back out. It won't slide out. It made it so that it stays in place when they're traveling. A little thing, not much. but
I
it's-
noticed the guide doesn't hit.
Exactly, the guide doesn't hit when it goes in there. One of the things they said they had a lot of problems with is with cork handles, these being torn up, coming in and out of the rod holders. They asked us, can you put the shrink wrap over the cork to protect it? Which we did. Now they like the feel of the cork in their hands while they're fighting a fish. So we put the cork handle there, but still left the rest of it so it comes in and out of the rod holder easy, but it's still comfortable to hold. It's just little things like this that we did. It's a very traditional series for us. The price is incredible. You can't find a rod with Fuji guides under $100. They're just not out there. These are an intro this year, and we're very, very tickled to be
Well,
able to.
what we've come to expect from you, and we're excited about the rods too. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your time, and hope to see you at SCHEELS.
Yes, sir. We're here with Dialo, and we're going to talk about some new rod technology. And I'm not 100% sure Dialo always gets their fair shake when it comes to fishing rods. Usually you think of reels first, and rods are an afterthought. But Pete's going to tell us why a Dialo rod might deserve a little more attention.
That's right, Johnny. One of the things that people don't understand about Dialo that separates us from the competition is just like our reels, where we actually manufacture them in our own factories, it's the same is true with our rods. If you do your research out there in the industry, most rods are being produced with the same components and most of them in the same factories. We're manufacturing our own, and even some of our own components on the rod, like guides, for example. This is our new Dialo Elite spinning series and casting series. We have all technique-specific models designed by our pros. The guide train on these is AGS guide, stands for Air Guide System. These guides, any single guide on one of our AGS rides is lighter than an entire set of guides from any other manufacturer. So the sensitivity and crispness is absolutely amazing. You got to go to a local SCHEELS store and check one of these out.
And then we've got a trolling model here.
Yep.
SCHEELS is pretty known for trolling.
Yep,
We've got a lot of stores in that trolling market, and this is something we're pretty excited to add to our lineup.
The RG series for walleye fishing has been growing in popularity. The word's getting out there amongst walleye anglers what kind of value there is in this rod series. it's even an extra value in this trolling rod. We have telescopic 8-foot rods with telescopic 7.5-foot rods to match up for any of the trolling needs of today's modern walleye anglers.
Perfect. There you have it. A couple new rod additions at Dialo. You're going to want to get your hands on these pretty soon.